and welcome to Harding's Wealth Managers on this Thursday morning, the 9th of April. Well, we've had a wee bit of an interesting week this past week as far as the market's concerned. We did have an update on Monday where we broke through that kind of resistance level that I'd mentioned previously with my Fibonacci retracement, which is about 2,630 something in the S&P 500, and settled there after we broke through it. On Tuesday, went all the way up to about 2,750 on the S&P before actually settling back down to about 2,660, which is once again right around that sort of 2,660 level, which is support now as far as Fibonacci is concerned. That level is going to be a strong support, hopefully. And then yesterday we actually went all the way up to 2,750, which is where we actually closed the day, was 2,750. Now that actually represents pretty close to it the 50% retracement from the high that we've had this year to the low that we've had this year. So that level should become pretty strong resistance. If we break through that, then I think we're going to see that 285 level that I'd mentioned in my video on Tuesday. And that's going to be another sort of resistance level. We'll see how that goes. But this 2750 level in the S&P is a very strong level to get across as far as the stock market is concerned and as far as us as individual investors are concerned. And I've kind of positioned us a little bit so that should we have a bit of a decline, we're able to actually take advantage of that to a certain extent. So we should be pretty much covered as far as that's concerned. Some of the sectors that are doing quite well at the moment are airlines. We're seeing those move up quite dramatically in the past couple of days. Oil is still continuing to do quite well. In fact, the market was up yesterday because of oil prices going up. So that was a good move for not only the markets, but also for us to a certain extent. As I've said before, I'm positioning us as much as possible to take advantage of when the market starts to recover and when the economy starts to recover. Now, I'm not looking really at 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks down the line. Some of the things that I've purchased for us is actually looking further, 6 months, 9 months, 12 months down the line, when we start to see the economy really recovering much more quickly. And a lot of it has to do with consumer discretionary. In my personal opinion, once we start to see this taper off, once we start to see people going back to work, you're going to see a rush of people wanting to, well, number one, get out of the house. And then number two, well, we're out of the house, we haven't been able to spend much money, let's go out and do what we want to do, i.e., let's take that trip, or maybe not take the trip, but let's just go locally and buy something that we feel that we wanted, needed, etc., etc. It's all in the psyche that people who've been cooped up in places for quite some time will say, let's bust out once they can, and we'll go off, and they'll, not going to say they're going to buy a new car, but they'll want to feed their anxiety to a certain extent by purchasing something that will make them feel better. I know it sounds a little strange, but that's what actually does happen. So that's where I've kind of positioned us going forward, is to take advantage of that kind of scenario in the economy moving forward more 3, 6, 9, 12 months down the line, rather than thinking of immediate gain. Yes, I want to take advantage of some things. For instance, Starbucks, as far as I'm concerned, with it being opened up back in China, I think that stock is going to come back more quickly. And then once it starts opening up back here around the world and in the United States, even more so will it move further and further up and forward. And that's what I'm trying to position us for. So, as I've said before, I'm here every day, working for you from 6 in the morning till 6 at night, trying to find the best ways possible to navigate this market, and that's basically it. I did mention today's Thursday, which is actually Maundy Thursday, and in the Bible, this day actually marks the day the Last Supper takes place. And it actually marks the moment that Jesus really established the sacrament of the Eucharist, which is now part of every Mass around the world. The day itself actually gets its name from the Latin word mandatum, meaning commandment. And it's really a reference to what Jesus tells his disciples during the Last Supper. And that is basically, a new commandment I give you, that you love one another as I have loved you, that you also love one another. Kind of pretty apropos in today's climate with what's going on around the world, really. Love one another. I'll speak to you in a couple of days. Hope you're all well. Bye-bye for now.